I've been just reading about Tolstoy, and I think he was, without a doubt, perhaps one of the greatest literary geniuses in history. He was the author of works such as War and Peace and Anna Karenina, and I think he definitely conquered the world with his psychological depth and moral reflection. But behind the genius, there was definitely a tormented man that was searching for answers about the meaning of life. And so Tolstoy, he went through a profound existential crisis, an inner struggle between reason and faith. In 1910, before his death, he described what saved him from an emotional abyss, an inner force, a thirst for God that kept him from giving up. And so, despite fame and success, Tolstoy fell into an emptiness that no achievement seemed able to fill. His brilliant mind led him to endless questions. Why do we live? What is the purpose of existence? Questions that quite often we wrestle with. And so, in his account, he confessed that he had considered suicide as a way to escape the pain of a meaningless life. But something unexpected happened. Even when his intellect pushed him towards despair, there was something else, something within him that kept him from acting. He described this something as an awareness of life, a mysterious force that made him move in another direction. That force, he later realized, was the presence of God. He said, "My heart remained wasting away with another consuming emotion. I cannot call it by any other name than a thirst for God." Lev Tolstoy, quoted by William James in the varieties of religious experience. So Tolstoy discovered that the desire for God was not just a religious idea, but a deep spiritual need inherent to the human being. When the intellect fails to answer the questions of the soul, the heart begins to cry out for something greater. This thirst for God is not exclusive to saints or mystics. It dwells in all of us. At some point in life, we all feel this inexplicable longing for something beyond matter, for a presence that brings meaning and peace. And that is exactly what Tolstoy found. Not all the answers, but a quiet certainty that life had purpose. Many believe that faith means the absence of doubt, but Tolstoy proved the opposite. He continued to question, but now his questions no longer destroyed him. Finding God did not erase his concerns, but it changed the way he faced them. Doubt, when placed in the hands of God, ceases to be an enemy and becomes part of the process of spiritual growth. The Spirit of God does not eliminate questions, but offers something even more precious: peace in the midst of uncertainty. As the text itself says, we may even question, but somehow the Spirit calms us with the certainty that everything will be okay. The serenity does not come from ready-made answers, but from a real relationship with the one who gives life meaning. So there are a couple of things that we can learn from Tolstoy. So his experience can teach us valuable lessons about the journey of faith and the meaning of existence. The first one is that reason has limits. The human intellect is definitely powerful, but it cannot answer every question of the soul. The second one is that pain can be an invitation. Often, suffering opens the door to the sincere search for God. A third one is that faith is born in the heart. Tolstoy discovered that this thirst for God was stronger than his reason, and it was this thirst that kept him alive. The fourth one is that God is the meaning we seek. When the world loses its shine and answers seem empty, it is the divine presence that restores purpose. Tolstoy came near a universal truth. Life only finds fullness when it is connected to the divine. The Holy Spirit works in us like a gentle voice saying, everything will be okay, even when doubts persist. Faith sustains, comforts, and guides. This is the difference between living with God and without Him. Without Him, the questions wait. With Him, the questions shape us. Perhaps you also find yourself in the midst of questions, searching for purpose, trying to understand the why of things. I certainly do. But Tolstoy's story reminds me, and it can remind you as well, that doubts are not the end, but they are the beginning of a deeper search. God does not expect you to have all the answers. He only expects you to seek Him. And when you do, you will discover that He is already closer than you imagine.